speaking to people that might want to get into the industry or what you singing, what would you say is something to look out for?
Well, the biggest thing that jumps to my mind right now is something, it shouldn't be an issue, but being a woman in the music industry is hard, because people sort of only expect so much from you. You know, where you're a musician, but then if you're a female musician, you're a female musician. You're never a male musician. Male musician is the default. A female musician is sort of like an asterisk.
Okay.
And we're expected to look and act a certain way that men aren't expected to look and act. Like I have male friends who will just like go to either jams or gigs, like more casual gigs, in like, you know, slippers and a t-shirt. But if I ever show up without makeup or like in sweatpants or in flip-flops, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you today?
Yeah,
and that's not an issue just in music.
Yeah. Double standard. Double standard.
It's
a
not
lot
an issue just in music.
Do you think it's more so in Taiwan compared to if you're in the States?
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I think for sure. I think in Taiwan, appearances simultaneously matter more and less. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a wedding and you see people dressed in the most casual, disrespectful way, but then if I go to a gig and I don't have like full-blown makeup, you know, I'm somehow doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. I've been lucky enough not to deal with too much sort of sexual harassment or inappropriateness, probably because I have a look on my face that just says, don't mess with me, I will kick you. In the
very direct American way.
I lived in New York for almost 10 years. Do not mess with me. But yeah, I mean, there definitely have been times where people have like touched me inappropriately, or I remember one time I came off the stage at one of my residencies and this guy looked at me, this Taiwanese person looked at me, and in Chinese he asked me, he was like, can I ask you a rude question? I said, I'd rather you not. And he said, when you wear a gown like that, do you wear a bra or not?
Oh my gosh.
Like, why is that relevant? How is that, why did you think it was okay for that to come out of your mouth?
Yeah, and you said no, but you didn't say...
Yeah.
You said, I'd rather you not, though, but still, he wouldn't have heard whatever it is that you said in terms of no anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you were.
And it's just, it's very frustrating because a lot of men don't realize how unsafe it is for women to reject men. Because we don't really have an issue with the come on most of the time. It's the fact that we can't safely reject them without being subjected to some sort of verbal or physical violence. You know, if it's not like you know, like there, in more drastic cases, there have been people who have been killed for rejecting a stranger. And then in less drastic cases, it's like, oh, whatever, I didn't even think you were that hot anyways, or like, oh, you're so stuck up. You know, there's some sort of retaliation.
Yeah.
There's no safety in rejecting unwanted advances. So that's, as somebody who is in the spotlight, definitely I'm put in a position way more than I would like to be personally, where I have to interact with more people, where I have to deal with more attention. That was probably my least favorite part of doing what I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just want you to appreciate what I do and then leave it at that. You know, support me from afar. You don't have to try to propose to me on my Facebook post.
Then aside from types of sexual harassment and things like that, are there anything else that you feel that people should be careful about coming into them?
People need to really know what they want, which is hard because what you want is going to constantly change. But if you're going into it solely for the purpose of pleasing others, you're never going to really be happy in what you do. And you're never going to please everybody. So if you're only trying to figure out, oh, what can I make that people will like? Of course, you need to factor that into a certain degree. But if you're basing your entire sort of rise and fall on the viewpoints of others, you're really never going to be able to be sustainable. So you need to be able to find a version of yourself that is genuine enough that you can live with that person for the duration of your career.
Yeah.
Or you have to be bold enough to modulate and then be willing to sort of face the consequences of that. Very early on, somebody told me, no matter how good the gig is, no matter how much exposure you get from it, do not lower your price. Don't lower your price. Do not lower your base value. Do not compromise your worth just because you think it might lead to other things. If somebody really respects you, and they should, then they will pay you what you're worth.
Right.
But if they don't, it doesn't matter how many other potential, of course there are exceptions to this, but yeah, there have definitely been times where I've been asked to compromise on things or faced, I guess, not outright disrespect, but I do feel like a lot of people in Taiwan especially care so much about the appearances of things. The face of it, the way I do my hair, the way I do my makeup, the color of my gown.
What purse you're carrying.
A purse I'm carrying.
Yeah,
I wanted to hire this one pianist for a gig one time, and the guy told me, oh, sorry, can you pick somebody else? Because that guy doesn't have the right look. Who cares? This is a music gig. This is a music gig, like what? Go hire a model.
Yeah.
But a model can't sing. But then again, so many models here will get gigs before I do because they have the right look.
Yeah.
I was in communications with this one client recently who I was referred to by somebody else who referred me. And after 2 days of negotiating, at the very, very end, she said, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to go with somebody else. The people who are hiring want a white person.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're looking for a jazz singer, okay, it's great. It's really fantastic. And I'm pretty sure men don't run into this nearly as much. Especially if they're not a singer. So it's get ready to deal with a lot of BS. And so that's my biggest warning. The worst part of art is people.
Yeah.
I love people. I'm doing it for the people, but the worst part of art is also the people.
Which is weird. Yeah. Because that bias or racial whatever like that is prevalent in acting industry too,
Sure.
I mean, you can be a crap, you cannot even be an actor, you just have the face, you don't know how to do shit, but your face is white and you're good and you get triple the price of somebody. Even a Westerner like, me consider Westerner that has, just because I have an Asian face. So yeah, it's really prevalent here in Taiwan. Unfortunately, I think all in Asia, Southeast Asia.
That's a whole other